Fame built them up, and scandal tore them down. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, once Hollywood's golden couple, now find themselves on opposite sides of a quiet crisis after Elon's show collapsed. Under toxic workplace allegations, Portia disappeared from the spotlight, but whispers say she's planning a secret return, a move Ellen never saw coming. Is this about love or revenge? Tonight on Luminoir, we uncover the truth behind the rumors, the fractures behind the smiles, and the question haunting fans: can love survive when fame demands its own spotlight? What happens when the person who made millions laugh can no longer smile at home when the cameras stop rolling and the applause fades into silence? What's left? For Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi, that question might be more haunting than anyone could have imagined. Because right now, behind the gates of their Montecito estate, something is shifting. Something that has nothing to do with comedy and everything to do with survival. Portia is planning something. A return, a comeback. And Ellen? Well, Ellen might not be part of the plan. Let's rewind. It's 2008. Ellen DeGeneres is at the absolute peak of her powers. The Ellen DeGeneres Show isn't just a daytime talk show. It's a cultural phenomenon. She's dancing across stages, giving away cars, making celebrities cry with laughter, and somehow making the entire world feel like her living room. She's beloved, untouchable, the nice one, the kind one, the one who ends every show with the same 3 words: be kind to one another. And then there's Portia de Rossi, the stunning Australian actress who stole hearts on Ally McBeal and Arrested Development. She's elegant, mysterious, private. The exact opposite of Ellen's loud, public dancing tables energy. But somehow, it works. When they meet at a party in 2004, it's electric. Portia later describes it as love at first sight. She says she felt seen for the first time in her life. Ellen says Portia made her believe in love again. They get married in August 2008, just months after California legalizes same-sex marriage. It's a small, intimate ceremony at their home. 19 guests. Portia wears a backless pink tulle gown designed by Zach Posen. Ellen wears white. They write their own vows. They cry. The photos are beautiful, hopeful, perfect. For years, they're the golden couple. Hollywood royalty. They buy homes together, flip them, sell them, buy new ones. They adopt animals. They support causes. They appear on red carpets, hand in hand, smiling. Ellen talks about Portia constantly on her show. She gushes. She jokes. She tells the world how lucky she is. And Portia, always the quieter one, supports her from the sidelines. But behind the scenes, something else is happening. Portia is disappearing. Let's talk about what it means to be married to someone like Ellen DeGeneres. Someone who is, quite literally, always on, always performing, always needing to be the center of attention. Because that's what made Ellen great, right? That energy. That charisma, that need to make people love her. But what if you're the person standing next to her? What if you're the one who has to shrink day after day just so she can shine brighter? Portia stops acting. Not all at once, but gradually. She takes smaller roles. Then, no roles. She steps away from the spotlight entirely. She says it's her choice, that she's done with Hollywood, that she wants to focus on art, on other projects, on herself. But those close to the couple whisper something else. They say Portia felt invisible. That Ellen's career, Ellen's show, Ellen's needs always came first. One source, speaking anonymously to a tabloid years later, says this: Portia gave up everything for Ellen. Her career, her identity, her independence. She became Ellen's wife, and that was it. That's all anyone saw her as. And for a while, maybe Portia convinced herself that was enough. Then 2020 happens. You remember. The world is in lockdown. And suddenly, stories start leaking. Stories about the Ellen DeGeneres show. Stories about what happens when the cameras aren't rolling. Employees, former staffers, producers, they all start talking. And what they say is damning. They describe a toxic workplace, a culture of fear. They talk about being fired for taking medical leave, for attending family funerals. They describe racism, intimidation, bullying. One former employee says they were told not to speak to Ellen if they saw her in the hallways. Another says they were reprimanded for looking her in the eye. The nice one? The kind one. The woman who told everyone to be kind to one another. Not so kind behind the scenes, the internet explodes. The hashtag starts trending. The think pieces pile up. The headlines are brutal. Ellen's name, once synonymous with joy, becomes synonymous with hypocrisy. The backlash is swift, merciless, unforgiving. And where is Portia during all of this? Publicly, she stands by Ellen. She posts on Instagram. She writes, "I stand by Ellen. The Ellen I know is the one we see on TV every day." She defends her wife. She shields her. She becomes Ellen's protector, but privately. Sources say it's a different story. Close friends of the couple later reveal that the scandal took a toll. That Ellen became withdrawn, paranoid, defensive. That she couldn't understand why the world had turned on her. That she spiraled. And Portia, ever the dutiful wife, held it together. She held Ellen together, even as her own needs, her own dreams, her own identity continued to fade into the background. The Ellen DeGeneres show limps on for another year. Ellen addresses the allegations on air. She apologizes, sort of. She says she's learned and grown. But the magic is gone. The ratings drop. The celebrity guests stop showing up. The producers are fired. The show becomes a shell of what it once was, and in 2022, Ellen announces the end. After 19 seasons, the Ellen DeGeneres show is done. Ellen tells the world she's ready for a new chapter, that she wants to step away from the spotlight, that she's grateful for the journey. But those who know her say she didn't leave by choice. She was pushed, canceled, exiled. And Portia? Portia is still standing by her side. But for how much longer? Fast forward to now. 2025. Ellen and Portia have moved to the UK. They've left America behind, reportedly for good. They've settled into a quieter life, away from the cameras, away from the scrutiny. Ellen tries her hand at stand-up again, but the response is lukewarm. She's no longer the darling of daytime. She's a cautionary tale, and Portia is done being quiet. Beat. According to multiple sources close to the couple, Portia de Rossi is planning a return to acting. A real return. Not a guest spot or a cameo. A full-blown comeback. She's been in talks with agents. She's been reading scripts. She's been working out, reconnecting with old industry contacts, rebuilding her brand. One insider says, Portia gave up her career for Ellen. But now that Ellen's career is over, Portia wants hers back. Another source, speaking to a major tabloid, says the decision has caused tension. Major tension. Because Ellen, who has always been the star, the center of attention, the one everyone looks at, is now watching her wife prepare to step back into the spotlight. And she's not handling it well. Ellen is used to being the main character, the source says. She doesn't know how to be the supporting role. There are reports of arguments, of cold silences, of Portia spending more and more time away from their home, of Ellen becoming increasingly isolated, bitter, and controlling. One particularly explosive rumor claims that Ellen has been trying to sabotage Portia's comeback. That she's been making calls, pulling strings, reminding people in the industry that Portia has been out of the game for years. That she's difficult. That she's not worth the risk. Is it true? We don't know. But the fact that the rumor exists at all tells you something about the state of their marriage. Let's talk about what marriage looks like when the power dynamic shifts. When the person who is always in control suddenly isn't anymore. When the person who gave up everything decides they want it back. Because that's what's happening here, isn't it? For years, Portia was the supporting character in Ellen's story. The beautiful, quiet wife who smiled at the right times and stayed out of the way. But now, Ellen's story is over. The show is canceled. The world has moved on. And Portia is realizing she still has a story to tell, and maybe, just maybe, that story doesn't include Ellen. There are whispers of separation, of divorce lawyers, of Portia looking at properties on her own, of Ellen begging her to stay, promising to change, to be better, to finally see her as an equal. But is it too late? One friend of Portia's says this: she's been invisible for so long. She's ready to be seen again. And if Ellen can't handle that, then maybe it's time for Portia to walk away. Think about what that means. Ellen DeGeneres, the woman who built an empire on kindness, on joy, on making people feel good, might lose the one person who stood by her when everyone else turned away, because she couldn't let go of control, because she couldn't step aside, because she couldn't be happy for someone else's success. It's tragic. Really, but it's also human. Because we all do this, don't we? We cling to what we know. We resist change. We make the people we love smaller so we can feel bigger. And we don't even realize we're doing it until it's too late. Ellen and Portia's story isn't just about celebrity drama. It's about what happens when one person's light dims, and the other person finally realizes they deserve to shine too. So what happens next? Will Portia de Rossi make her comeback? Will she return to the screen and remind the world why they fell in love with her in the first place? Will she reclaim the career she gave up, the identity she lost, the voice she silenced? And will Ellen let her? Or will the woman who once told the world to be kind prove that kindness was only ever a performance? That behind the dancing and the laughter and the giveaways, there was only control, ego, and fear? We don't know yet. The story is still unfolding. But one thing is certain: whatever happens next, it's going to change everything. For Ellen, for Portia, and for everyone who believed in the fairy tale they sold us. Because sometimes, the person who makes the world laugh is the one who's crying when the cameras turn off. If you found this story as compelling as we did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Portia deserves her comeback? Do you think Ellen and Portia's marriage can survive this shift? We want to hear from you. Thanks for watching Luminoir. Until next time, keep questioning the stories behind the spotlight.